What's going on, guys? One Chains Gaming back here with another video. And for this one, since I figured a lot of you guys probably got the game here in the last week and a half, I figured we would do a 100k clutch time squad builder. Obviously, if you guys are seeing this on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're seeing it on any other platforms I share it on, obviously give a follow there. But for this, I figured clutch time is probably the easier mode for most people to pick up and play. Unlimited is obviously you're going to need a 10-man roster. You got a lot of tiers to climb, things like that. So I figured clutch time is probably the better mode to give you guys the squad builder for first, just because it's an easier thing to pick up and go. And obviously, if you guys want me to do 100k unlimited squad builder, or if you guys have different price points you want me to do, or maybe different requirements or things like that, let me know. Maybe we can even start doing this with limited, where I do this on like limited Fridays. I kind of show you guys the best team to build for certain prices, things like that. But before we get into that, I do have a quick little sponsorship to go through. So we are now actually partnered with W Energy. If you guys use any sort of, like, you mix it with water, and they've got a bunch of different flavors. All their flavors are actually really, really good. The Galaxy one is probably my favorite personally right now. So the big thing with this is if you guys use the code, it's just One Chains Gaming, all one word, all lowercase, you actually get 10% off. So yeah, that is going to be it. So obviously they've got shakers, they've got hats, they've got different merch and stuff. You guys like the logo. And then they do have the normal just energy drink stuff. If you guys would rather have the drink stuff rather than the merch. But anyhow, let us go ahead and get into it. So for the point guard, I decided to go with a point guard probably a little more expensive than I think most people would in a squad builder of the 100k, just because point guard is probably your most important position. So I actually went John Wall. John Wall, the reason I went John Wall is because he's a all-around card, right? He's 6'4". He gets decent animations. His jump shot's clean. His jump shot's easy to time, especially for you new guys picking up the game. He can dunk, he can pass, he can shoot, he can play defense. He's just an all-around solid card. And he's only 35k right now because of just he was in different packs, and then he was on boards and stuff. So he's gone down in price pretty decent amount. So he was my pick for point guard, just because I feel like honestly he's an all-around card that you guys can use for that. The next card we are going to go with is going to be Buddy Hield, but definitely make sure you pick up the Evo Buddy Hield. Evo Buddy Hield there is a difference, and it is a big difference. For the Evo, obviously he gets Hoff clamps, he gets a lot more defensive badges, and he's probably going to be your on-ball lock in this situation. Just because of the clamps, the steals, the perimeter defense, he's a better defender than John Wall. The only reason I have John Wall with him is because Buddy Hield doesn't get handles for days. So because of that, you want to kind of preserve Buddy Hield handling the ball until towards the end of the game, so John Wall can start for most of the clutch time game handling the ball for you, and in that last minute and a half, you can let Buddy Hield do his thing. But the other thing with Buddy Hield is he does also get Kobe base on quick. It's a very smooth jump shot. You can shoot it from deep. He's a very good 3-and-D guy. He's not going to be catching bodies like John Wall will, because he only has a 70 driving dunk, but he can still dunk fairly consistently for you and things like that. So definitely keep him in mind as far as your shooting guard goes. The small forward, I went kind of, again, more with a 3-and-D guy. This is just kind of based on the way I play it and the way I play clutch time. I went with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is only about 10 to 15k, so he's pretty cheap right now. I personally would go 75th if you're going to eventually add badges to him, just because he needs a couple of shooting badges. So the 75th gets him, the regular Christmas one does not, and they're basically the same price. So that is why I went 75th. His jump shot's not as slow as it has been in past years. In past years, Scottie Pippen had one of the slowest jump shots in the game. It's still slow. It's not a quick jump shot by any means, but it's not as slow as it was in past years, making him completely unusable. And he plays really good defense. He has a good wingspan. He can switch screens, even if you want him to guard like somebody else's 2-guard and have John Wall guard a cone, things like that. He is more than capable of doing that. Now, for the power forward, I went kind of along the exact same lines as the last one. I went Andrei Kirilenko. Andrei Kirilenko is, if you guys have watched any of my streams, YouTube videos, you know I'm always a big Andrei Kirilenko guy. For whatever reason, he just plays above his ranking for me personally. The thing with this card, he's not going to be able to handle the ball. This card can't dunk. This card is strictly a 3-and-D cone. The thing with him is, though, he does get Hoff clamps. So if you guys get stuck on switching screens or things like that, he can guard ball. He can guard the paint. He can guard a corner. He's got a really good wingspan, so he gets in lanes a lot. And he's got jump shot 29, which is fairly smooth. It's not necessarily, again, it's not the quickest jump shot, but it's a smooth jump shot. It's easy to time. You can tell where the release point is, things like that. So that is why I recommend Andrei Kirilenko, because he's only about 20K, a little less than that. I would get the one with the mask, though, because he does come with blinders. And the unmasked one can't get blinders. Why blinders isn't as big of a badge. If you guys played last year, you know blinders was the biggest badge in the game. It's not as big of a deal this year. But the fact that it's basically the same price and you get that badge added, I personally would pick up the masked one. And now, if you guys have noticed, we've basically spent pretty much all of our MT between these four, right? That's okay, because you know why? We have this great budget center in the game that is known as Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is 7 foot, has a good wingspan, has a good jump shot. It's not, don't get me wrong, again, it's not going to be the fastest jump shot in the world. That's just not the stage of the game we're at. But it's a smooth jump shot. You can time it. You see where the release point is. He can shoot from the top, the corners, the hashes. Like, the man's got a good jump shot, okay? Plays good defense. The one thing is with his player model, because he's got that slender twig player model, he does get back down a little bit. But in clutch time, that's not as big of a deal, because you want the 2s, you want the 4s, things like that, right? You're hunting a little more for 3s. You only got 14 seconds, so it's not as big of a deal getting posted up. But, I mean, for his value, he's one of the best centers in the game for his value. So that is why, just with how the rest of the team kind of shook out, I had a feeling he was coming in, just because the center position is kind of one of the worst positions to look at right now, especially for budget people. But yeah, this is the team here. It's a little bit under 100K, so if you have a little extra, would look to probably add some badges to some guys. But, I mean, all in all, or save your MT and slowly start building up your unlimited lineup and things like that. But that's going to be the video. Again, if you guys want to like, comment, and subscribe, we are still working our way up to those first 50 subs. So, yeah, make sure to hit that follow button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.